Hello, my name is Tanika Steens, and I am coming to you today live from my new live stream called Mind Your Business. Today on Mind Your Business, we're going to be talking to a local business owner. Her name is Kassandra Woods. She is born and raised right here in Muncie, Indiana, and she's going to come on and she's going to talk about her business with us today and give us some insight on what it took for her to get here. And I just want to tell you a little bit about her before we get started. KWoods Beauty is her company. It was established in March of 2016, and her goal was to create and maintain natural hair follicles with protective hairstyles that will guarantee natural hair growth. She doesn't indulge in chemicals or wear any on her hair. She believes in maintaining beautiful natural hair in its natural state. KWoods Beauty is truly based on the beauty of all natural hair growth, and KWoods does not use any damaging chemicals on any hairstyles. So today, we would like to welcome Kassandra Woods. Thank you for tuning in, and if you have any questions, go ahead and post them in the comments box. Hi, Kassandra. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for asking me to be a part of this live podcast. What do I call it?
It's a live stream right now. It's not. I haven't got to podcast yet, but it's a stream.
Okay, the live stream. Thank you so much. I'm honored.
Well, thank you. I'm honored to have you because you are actually my very first guest. And so we'll remember this a couple of years from now when everything blows up. But right now, today, we just are so honored to have you as our first guest. And I'm just thankful that you wanted to come on. And so I just want to tell you a little bit about what I'm doing before we get started. I started this business in hopes that I could help others be able to start businesses. And also those who are in business, I want to be able to give them a platform to be able to speak about what they do, how they got there, and give insight on what it takes to owning and operating your own business, especially as a minority and coming from you, especially from a woman who's a minority. So that's a double minority standard right there. And so right now where we are in this world, there's a lot of women that are influencing with businesses in the industry. And so I'm just grateful to be able to have you on today to be able to talk to you about who you are and what you do. So, first of all, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, I'm Kassandra Lynn Woods, and I am the daughter of Teresa Woods and Donnie Lampkins. Teresa is my mother. She works for Ball Memorial Hospital. Been working there for about 29 years. Donnie
Wow.
Lampkins is my father. He lives in Indianapolis, and I love them both very much. I'm the mother of three wonderful children. My daughter, she's 19 years old. She graduated from high school, Muncie Central High School. She was a two-time semi-state cross-country runner and now a beautiful military National Guard. And my son, he's 17, Damar Woods Haskins. He attends Muncie Central as well, and he plays basketball. His sport is basketball, but he also likes to indulge in other sports. He plays football right now, but he just broke his collarbone. So y'all be praying for
Oh,
him because we're trying to get him healed enough so he can get ready for basketball season. And I have a 5-year-old, Elijah Jermaine Woods Carter. He um he is just my joy. He keeps me young because I started all over again. And I am like you said, I'm the business owner of KWoods Beauty. It was established in 2016 with an overhead, but I was doing the hustle, the in-home hustle for about 17 years. So that was like what we call a soft infrastructure. You start something soft. You get your clientele, you get your social right, you get your how do you say it? I'm trying to think of the word to say. You get your community together, and then you put it all in a building, and that's what I did. And I've been living in Muncie, Indiana all my life. I lived in Memphis for a little bit, but Muncie has always been home. I have an identical twin sister. Her name is Amanda Woods. That's my road dog. That's my best friend. We bump heads all the time, but that is my ace boon coon. As soon as I get off here with you, I'm gonna call her and tell her all about it. Um, and that's really it.
Yeah. So you said that you started in your home. Tell us what
Yeah.
that looked like and what you dealt with that being in your home and having, did you have clients come inside your home?
Yeah, like I was okay. So wow, I started when I was 12 years old. I was born and I was raised in what a lot of Muncie natives know as the Muncie homes, the hood, or small murder county. The pizza man wouldn't come there, the Chinese man wouldn't come there. It was a lot, the police barely came there. So
Okay.
within that community, we all had to do something to keep ourselves sane, and hair was my thing. I was 12 years old. I did my first grown person's hair when I was 12, right there on my grandma's step at 810 South Elm Street in the Muncie homes. And
Wow.
that is the first time I actually was able to engage, and it became a ministry. Anytime you are you are providing a service and someone is sitting in front of you, they're going to get comfortable, they're going to start talking, and I have to die with a lot of secrets. My clients, I made sure they trust me, and they still do, because they still coming back to get hooked up by KWoods Beauty. So yes, after living in the Muncie homes, and that was the first 13 years of my life, and then I moved to Memphis with my mom for about a year and a half, and I miss home so much. She allowed us to come back, and I was still doing hair. I was doing most of my family's hair, doing my own, and then I slowly but surely getting this huge clientele base that was just coming. And you know, I don't take all the credit. To God be the glory.
Amen. Amen.
To God
Amen.
be the glory.
So, when you first started KWoods Beauty,
Mhm.
did you start with your own products? You created your own products? Is that what you have a product that you created?
No, I did not have a product.
Okay.
I actually I was married for almost 6 years, and then after my marriage was over, I wanted to put my headspace into something positive. So I worked out a lot, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to start saving money, and I'm going to start a business. So it took me 3 years to save $15,000. Now,
Okay.
now here's some perspective. It takes a drug dealer to make $15,000 in probably 2 hours, and it takes a nurse, to bring home 15,000 in probably 2 months, and that be saved. But me as a single mom raising three children, it wasn't as easy. So, we had some discipline that I had to instill. The only things I really bought new was shoes. Everything else was from the Goodwill. I had no shame. We went in there the first Saturday of every month, me and my children, and that's when you can get the half off at the Goodwill. And that's what we was doing for 3 years. We didn't go out to eat. So I instilled a very healthy cooking style, I'll say that, for my family, because I didn't want to just keep giving them the down south food that I was fed all the time. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn. It was like new stepping stones. Once you decide that you want to do something, everything else has to be in order. Like, you can't, it's like a nutritionist who's not healthy. You know what I mean? So I know
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to have this long journey of business. And I was like, okay, I got to be healthy. My kids got to be healthy, but I got to save money, but this is really what I want to do. I didn't enter any new relationships. I just tried to stay focused. And so it took me 3 years to say 15,000. Once I hit 15,000, I said, okay, I'm going to start looking for a building. So I started calling real estate agents for a space. This one real estate guy, I won't say his name because I don't want to, give anybody else's name, but he took me around Muncie to show me some buildings, and he took me to 6 places that were either too expensive, too far out, or just too much for me to handle. The seventh building that he showed me was right there where I am at 2207 North Granville. And I'm a number woman, and I believe seven is the number of perfection. And so I saw the building, and it was a little rugged, but it was me. I was like, I could do this. I could do this space right here. The price was right. The real estate agent was nice. The leasing the property managers was great. So I said, this is where I'm going to be, and that's where my building has been for the last 5 years. And I didn't get to have a 5 year party because of the COVID-19, but I still plan on having one. And then once I got into business, that first year was a blessing. Everybody was just so giving. Everybody, I had so many people come just to give. They didn't even buy anything. That first
Amen.
year was just wonderful. The second year, woo hoo hoo hoo, that was a tough one.
Well, it's funny that you say that because we have a question right now. You know, I commend you on everything, on your hard work and doing it as a single mom and with 3 kids. And I understand I've got 5 kids and a husband, and I know how hard it is to try to start your business and to try to do things, and especially when you don't have anyone that sees the vision the way that you see it. But
Right.
I have a question right now that came in that says, what hardships did you encounter transitioning from working from home to opening your salon?
Well, the hardship was the the main hardship was the second year of business. Okay, so from home, I'm trying to say it as simple as I can. My mom always says, explain it to me like I'm a child so I can
Yes,
understand. So the transition was okay. So I had to get online, and I had to find hair, and I had to find reasonably priced hair and quality hair, because folks will talk about you if you ain't got the good stuff. So I'm like, let me try to find some good quality hair. So I'm getting online and I'm researching. So your researching time is going to take, I would say, give yourself 30 to 90 days just doing research. Just doing research. And that's what I did. I started researching um what products to put in. So I found three really good distributors that I could use. One was in Texas, one was in California, and of course New York. And I was able to use them as distributors for my hair. That was a blessing. And then I'm like, okay, now I have hair, I have glue, I have product, I have all kinds of stuff. So now I need a building. So that's when I started to seek out the building. And I still had money in the bank saved. I wasn't spending. And not spending is a big deal. Like, you going to church, everybody wants to go out to eat on Sunday. I'm going home. You get phone calls from your friends. Hey, what you doing? We're having a party. You coming out? That's gonna make me spend money. No, I won't be there tonight. So you have to allow a lot of things pass so you can have the victory later. So
yes,
after after getting the building, now I had to make sure the building was clean, make sure the building was up to code. And that's when you find out that as soon as you start to plan something, Uncle Sam is in your pocket. Okay. Because when I got the building inspected, and then the same building people came to inspect the sign, and both of those inspections cost money. I didn't
yes,
I didn't know these things. So I'm like, dang, that's dipping into my product money. So there's surprises, but I'm just gonna, be completely honest. Like, I'm in my bedroom right now, and I'm looking at my mirror, and I have these cards that I post on my mirror that I read. And one is, faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. And that
absolutely.
was by Martin Luther King Jr., of course. But these sayings that I have before me, I have to look at them, I have to recite them, I have to say them to myself and believe them. Because there's so many things that is going to try to go against you when you're opening a business, but you have to stay on the faith line. I'm telling you, you
Yes.
have to.
So, knowing what you know now, did you have any consultants, any business coaches, any mentors, anyone that was helping you out or pouring into you during that time?
Well, my own family. I have my Aunt Ruby, who owned Ruby's Kitchen out on East Jackson. It's closed now, but she is an entrepreneur. Now she does a small catering business. And then I have my Aunt Ruthie, who owns DNR Grands. She cleans a lot of businesses and a lot of college housing. So I was able to watch them. I was able to watch them. My Aunt Ruby was actually the one that taught me how to braid hair. I was living with her while my mom was out of town. And when I stayed with her, she was braiding in her kitchen. So I was in there watching her braid, and she noticed me watching. She noticed me watching, and she would say, "Cassandra, come over here and finish this braid." She would start it and I would finish it. So my
Okay.
Aunt Ruby, my Aunt Ruthie, my mom, she's around a lot of business owners all the time, being that been working at the hospital for over 29 years or over 20 years. So she was always letting me know what she found out. So I had the crop right there in my own home. I do know that Brother Marshall, who owns Marshall Sales, he was always instilling in me what I should do. And I was like, well, I think I'm gonna work at the schools for 2 more years. He was like, no, you ain't gonna be there for 2 more years. He's like, if you want your business to be successful, you gonna leave sooner than 2 more years. That's what he told me. He's like, because you gotta be there. He's like, you gotta be at the business. So it was a lot of people, and I was attending Deliverance Temple at the time, and there was a lot of business owners in there at the time. I was just watchful, listening. I always carried a pad and pen with me, writing things down. That's really how it was.
Okay. So knowing again what you know now, if you could start your career over, what would you do differently?
Whew. I probably would have saved a little bit more money, because that 15,000, it was not enough. I completely stepped out on faith. I completely stepped out on faith. It was not enough. I probably would have saved a little bit more money. Um, I probably would have. I did not have a business plan. I did not have a business plan. I should have wrote a business plan, but I just went in with cash money, start buying up stuff, and hope. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes that's good enough, but if you have a business plan, it shows you where things need to go, and it also asks the right questions. I should have known about the building inspection. I should have known about the sign inspection before I went in. I should have known, about a lot of things if I just would have wrote a business plan.
Yeah.
That's what I would have done different.
A lot of times people want to get into something and they don't really understand the hard work that it takes. And it's not just the work. You might have a talent, but if you don't have the resources, it's not going to really go anywhere. And so as a business consultant, that's what I do. I write business plans and I help people to market their business and I help people to bring that business to life. And so I have the resources and the connections and the different things. And a lot of people don't know that about me. And so this is another reason why we have this platform so that I can bring people on and they can let others know what they're doing. And in the process, if you need some help, I can let you know what I do. And
Okay.
so I'm a coach and a consultant, and I help you with a business model. And I start with you from start to finish, and I can hold your hand, or I can give you the model and let you go on it on your own. But nevertheless, I believe, because I've had many mentors, and I've had a lot of business coaches, and I've had a lot of people that have helped me to be where I'm at today. Now, it wasn't free by any means. You have to invest in yourself.
Right,
But
right.
the thing of it is, without that knowledge, without the people that have gone before that actually know what's going on, you're just spinning your wheels trying to figure it out, and it takes a long time. And so for 6 years, I've been sitting on this business, trying to, figure out where I should go and what I should do with it. And at this point in time, it's been in the making, but now it's the time for it because I deal with a lot on mental illness as well and mental health. And a lot of times our mind frames can hold us back from actually taking that step forward. So I actually even teach mindfulness to show you how to get out of those mind frames and to break away from those things that you learned as a child and that you were taught, and bad behaviors. And
Right.
so I'm grateful today to have this opportunity to be able to afford someone else the opportunity to come on and talk about what their struggles were, and if there wasn't any struggles, because every single person that is successful in business has had some struggles. If they haven't had any struggles, they're going to have some struggles. But just being able to let other people know what it looks like to walk through that journey and not to ever give up, because it could take 10, 20 years. It doesn't matter how long it takes. You just want to make sure you stay the course and do what benefits you and your family. And so I want to ask you, some other questions, like as far as right now, where you are in this moment, what would you tell your 12-year-old self?
Oh, um, you know, my grandmother, Mabel Woods. I know many people know her. She was so awesome at protection. She protected my twin and I from a lot of evils, from a lot of evils that the Muncie home had to offer. So she didn't look at our sad faces or our puppy dog faces and say, okay, yeah, you can go, you can go, you can go. It was like, no, you're better off at home. So I would say, good job listening to your grandmother, because a lot of 12-year-olds, they'll sneak out the house, they'll leave, and I wasn't that 12-year-old. So I would say good job. I will also say um um I would also say you probably should have stood up for yourself a little bit more. When I was 12, I was very timid. I was a yes girl, and back in those days, it was, you speak when spoken to when you're a child, and I was very intelligent, but most people didn't know because I didn't speak up for myself. So I would say, you should have spoke up for yourself a little bit more.
Well, it looks like you're speaking up for yourself now. So let's talk about your business. Let's talk about your hair products and the protective styles. Let's learn about that today.
Okay. So years ago, to be a professional braider, you had to acquire your license, your beauty license. And there was a law that was started. It began to orchestrate in 2016. It was finally passed in 2017. Pastor Andre sent me the information. That's why it's so beautiful to stay connected to people. It just is.
Absolutely.
He sent me the information. He was like, "Did you see this?" And I was like, "No," because he knew what I did. He knew that I was all about hair as well. And he sent it to me, and I was reading, and I saw what was starting to happen. Um, the truth had came out finally that hair braiding it's a natural talent. It's not taught in any of the beauty schools. So why are you making hair braiders pay an umpteenth amount of money just to acquire something that they already know how to
Well,
do?
let me just tell you that when I was a little girl, my mother used to braid my hair so tight that my eyes would go up, and I promised that I would never braid my child's hair. I'm like, I'm not going to ever learn how to braid. I hope I have boys, because braiding is just, I don't want to wear braids ever. And one time she braided my hair, and it was school pictures the next day, and my head was so tight and it was so horrible, and I just made a vow. And so that's probably why I have good hair, but I probably wear wigs because of that thing right there. And it's funny because I have 5 girls,
Oh
and
my
they
God.
all know how to braid, down from the 6-year-old to the 19-year-old. They
See?
all know how to braid. Mommy doesn't know how to braid. Mommy doesn't have to know how to braid. We got enough hair doers around here. I can do other things. Hair is not my business. And so I mind my business, and that ain't it. I love hair. I do. Don't get me wrong. But braiding, I can do a twist, and I
Mhm.
can do the 3 braids. But
Right.
other than the French braid and all of that, yeah. Now I can put some crochets in, That's as far as it's going. But again, that's not my business. It's not. And so that's why we have you. So tell us some more about what is the difference between a protective hairstyle and
Mhm.
a non-protective hairstyle? I mean, some people may not understand what that really means.
Well, and that's what I was getting to that. So the braiding, so now, after the law was passed in 2017 that a professional braider can now own her shop and be open legally without the acquire of the beauty license, which was a beautiful thing. And after that, a lot of braid shops started opening up all over the world, which was a beautiful thing. And they happened to be Black minority women who started opening up
Absolutely.
their businesses. You guys can look that up if you want, but um the protective hairstyle, and braiding is a protective hairstyle. So the protective hairstyle is a hairstyle that you put in your hair that does not damage with any type of chemical or any type of heat. So right now, the protective hairstyle I'm wearing is a sew in. I have very little leave out. Anytime now with the sew in, it's kind of sensitive because people like to heat that little leave out that's out. But you have to wash your hair, straighten it one time, and try your best to not put any heat on it for the next 2 weeks. So that means tying it down at night. Yes, we are about the bonnet life. Yes. Tie it down and I put the do-rag on, pull it back, put the do-rag on, put your bonnet on, and take your happy butt to sleep and wake up and fluff it out. Now you can curl the weave part, but don't curl the little bit of leave out. Protective hairstyles also include crochets, as you mentioned. The box braids, the various braid styles that you see every day, all day, and all people wear it. I got my beautiful Black sisters that come in and get it. My beautiful white sisters that come in and get it. I've even had some Asian girls from Ball State come and get it. They like the look. They like the look, but at the same time, they know where it comes from.
Hmm.
They know where it comes from, and it comes from the heritage of the African woman. So I'm very honored to do what I do, because it's not just keeping up with your hair or keeping your hair growing, which is what I do. People say I have growing hands. It's not just keeping your hair growing, but it's also honoring what is already on the inside of us. All your daughters know how to braid hair, and none of them were taught. It's just something that's in them. So you got 5 entrepreneurs in your home right now.
Absolutely.
You got
Yes.
5 entrepreneurs in your home right now.
Yeah, they actually have friends. Can so and so come over so I can do their hair? And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna start charging you guys booth rent here in a minute. And so even them, they came to me and they said, can you help us get our business started? I said, I sure can. You can go and make an appointment with me, and we can set up an appointment for me to consult you. But nothing in life is free. So if you want it, you got to pay for it.
I
And
know
they
that's right.
understand that. They understand that. So if you could create your own business as far as like your own building and your own space, what would that look like?
Um, what would it look like? If I can have my own building and my own space, what would it look like? Nobody's ever asked me that. I guess it
You've
would look.
got to be able to visualize what it is
It's
that you
true.
want. You've
It's
got to
true.
be able to see it and you can't have it until you can see it.
I agree wholeheartedly. Talk to my mind, okay? So let me think. I think I really like the building that I'm in. I think the building I would want would be a little bit bigger, because I can because I have space in there to employ braiders, but it's not something that I'm a treat others as you want to be treated type person. So I it would be a little bit bigger. I do like the tapestry life that I have in the building. I have tapestries all over the building, and they're all Black art. I kind of created what I wanted. So I looked at the space. I'm like, okay, this is not what I wanted. So I kind of created what it is that I want. And I don't know if you've been in my shop, but I think my shop
Yes.
is gorgeous. I think it's beautiful, and it's still a work in progress. But one day I will have my own building. And one day I'm glad you asked me that, because I never visualized what I wanted to look like. So I guess I need to be working on some blueprints. But one day I will have my own building, and I can't wait, because
Yes.
that's
Yes.
going
If
to
you
be
think it in your mind, you will create it in reality. And just like ever since you was a little girl, you saw that vision that has
Mhm.
gotten you where you are today. But don't stop there, because sometimes the process is more rewarding than the end of it. And so when
Mhm.
you feel like you've gotten to the end, you're like, oh, this is all it is. No, continue the process.
I
And so
agree.
now you can go to another level. And so with that in mind, just continue to create. And I've been in your shop,
Mhm.
and I like your atmosphere, and I like you. Your personality is so beautiful, and you're just so sweet and so welcoming. And I used to actually work with Amanda. We worked
Mhm.
together at the mall years ago, and I didn't know you. I knew Amanda, and her and I were really, really close. And it's so funny because you guys are totally opposite people, but I still
Yeah.
feel like I know you through her. And so you and I actually went on a college trip. We took the children down to Tennessee
Yep.
we mentored together. So, it was meant for us to come together and connect. And God is always on time. He's got perfect divine intervention. And so I'm grateful again that you took the time out to come on here today and to talk about what you do. I want to find out though, what sets you apart from other braiders? What is um, unique and special about KWoods that people should just come into you, and you should have everybody breaking down your door to get their hair braided by you?
um okay, so first of all, let me just say this. The other braiders that are out there, I think they are just I think they are awesome. I've seen all of their work. I have nothing bad to say about any of the braiders. They're doing their thing. They're they're doing what I was doing, and I applaud them. But I think what sets me apart from other braiders is, my shop is a very homey atmosphere. And while someone is in my chair, I don't allow others to come in. And that was before COVID. I don't allow people to come in. Now, don't get me wrong. I've had my days where I woke up late and I got to the shop late and my client is right there waiting on me, and then my next client is due in an hour, so she's coming in and I'm like, well, can you just sit right here so I can get done with my other client? So but I think that's what sets me apart is, I want it to just be me and my client. I don't want a lot of other people in there. Now, don't get me wrong, I have a supply as well. Now, if somebody wants to come in and purchase, they're more than welcome to do that. But as far as the relationship with the client, it's braider client relationship, and it's also a ministry. When you're sitting down and someone's in your hair, you want to feel comfortable. They either watch TV or they talk to me. And I like either or. I like either or. And I think that's what sets me apart is I don't, and I'm not saying that's what's going on in other braiders, areas. That's just how I like it. I like to just be with me and my client, and once the client is done, then the next client can come. That's how it's been set up since I've opened.
So that's sort of like a personal, peaceful space where you can go and relax, get your hair braided, and it's just you and the client one on one. That gives the client some time to go and get their mind cleared. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful, beautiful
also
ministry.
also they don't have to go out and look for their hair. I provide the hair as well, so the hair is provided and the service is provided in one bundle. So it's like a peace of mind. I'm going to get my hair braided and I ain't got to go around looking for nothing, you know and that
Absolutely.
and that because that's how I would want to be treated. I just want to go. I ain't trying to go here look for some hair. I might get the wrong thing. That's how I want to be treated. So back to the golden rule. I'm treating others as I would want to be treated. Period.
Absolutely. So, about how long does it take if someone comes into your shop and they need to get their hair done? First of all, can they just walk in? Do they have to have an appointment? And
Yes.
how long are they expected to be in your shop?
Yes. They in anybody who's interested in coming to get any type of hairstyle can go to www.kwoodsbeauty.com. And yes, I work by appointment only, because I am like I said, I am a mother of three, and I like to, schedule my life accordingly. I like to spend time with my children. I love to spend time with my children, and I like to just have my time too. So yes, Kwoods Beauty operates off of appointments only. Now there are some situations where I had a girl who was, about to be in a wedding, and the person who was about to do their hair couldn't make it, and she needed something thrown up real cute. I obliged her, but other than that, it's appointment only. And like if you get some box braids, if you get the medium sized box braids, which is the popular size, you're going to be sitting in the chair no more than 4 hours. 4 hours is it for the medium-sized box braids. Now, the smaller you go, the longer you'll be sitting, and the larger you go, the less you'll be sitting. So, but I mean, you can ask. I mean, any of my clients can chime in, and they'll tell you, that you're not sitting there all day, because I don't want to be there all day. I want to go there, get my work done. Once I start braiding, you can ask my clients, don't stop. It keeps it going. If anybody needs a break, it's usually them.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
me, I'm standing and I'm braiding, and I braid until it's done.
yeah. So, okay, anybody that is looking at going into this business, what piece of advice would you have to offer them?
Stay open to all creative hair protective styles. Like back in the day, we didn't have feed in braids. We didn't have tree braids. We didn't have stitch braids. We didn't have all that stuff. We have it now. So you have to continue to learn what people like. People call you, say, hey, can you do stitch braids? You don't want to say no, because you want you need the revenue to keep your business operating. And at the same time, you want to keep your mind fresh on what's new. It's like the medical field. Everything changes all the time, and you just want to make sure, as you go along with the change, keep it healthy. Don't change just to make somebody look beautiful and you damaging their hair at the same time. If you're going to go with the change, keep it healthy. And if the change can't stay healthy, then you explain that to your clients. You say, yes, I can do that, but it would have this much stress on your hair. I don't recommend that. And as a matter of fact, I'm probably not going to be able to do it, because at the end of the day, when people leave my shop, I want them to say, well, every time she braids my hair, it grows.
Yes,
Every time she does something to my hair, it grows. And no one can say that KWoods Beauty tore any of their hair out. And I do not braid your edges. I will work your edges in, but I won't be working them into a whole braid, pulling them out.
hmm, okay,
Because you want to have your edges, you want to have your hair, you want your hair at the end of the day, when you strip down of all of the extra that you have. If I take this weave out that I have in my hair right now, take these lashes off, and that's even a thing. There's a certain glue that you should not put on your lashes. If I take these lashes off, I still have lashes. If I take this hair down, I still have hair. And that's the whole point. Don't get me wrong. I like to add, but on some days, I just need to take it all off and still look like a woman. you know?
absolutely. So, what hair care products do you recommend?
Well,
What's your go-to favorite?
okay. So I have been using Tamika Ivy. Also, right now, Tamika Bush, but she was Tamika Ivy. I have been using her Glam Growth, and that stuff works. That's
All right, well, we'll have to get Tamika on here to talk about her products.
It is an old school grease, and I'm telling you, that old school stuff is what works. When they came out with that got to be, some people still swear by it. I don't like it, but I say the regular old school black gel that we used in that black
Yes,
jar,
yes,
that
yes.
is what works. The water, you can put water in your hair, throw some throw some blue magic in there, or Tamika's Glam Growth, throw some gel in your hair, and you either gonna get a soft curl or you can slick it up. But that old school stuff is what works. All this new stuff, I think that's what's tearing out the hair too.
Yeah.
Please do not be afraid to turn a product over, read those ingredients, type in the ingredient, see what it will do to your skin, see what it will do to your hair. Your skin is the biggest organ on your body. It's so whatever you're putting in your hair, you best believe it's going into your skin. So,
Absolutely.
so please do not be afraid to turn those products over and read. And I'm talking about popular products that people swear by, and they just caking it in their hair, caking it in their scalp. It's going in their skin. You ever see somebody's hair look really nice, but their skin looks really bad? You know what I'm saying? It's because they keep using
Ah,
that same product and it's going right into the skin. So, I
wow.
think people need to educate themselves. Educate themselves.
Yes. Well, you have beautiful hair. You have beautiful skin. You're glowing.
Thanks.
You look fantastic. We've got a few more minutes here. I just have a few
Okay.
more questions for you.
Okay.
Tell me about one of your biggest wins.
My biggest
And it
win.
doesn't. Yeah, one of your biggest wins. It doesn't have to be about your business. It can be about anything. What's one of your biggest wins?
Oh my gosh, what's one of my biggest wins? Oh, Father, help me because you helped me so much. One of my biggest wins. I don't know because I got a lot of wins. The Lord has given me
Well, just tell
extra.
us one. Tell us a win then.
A win. Um, okay. When I first started, when I first opened my business, um, I told you that first year was great. That first year was great, but the second year was so tough. I thought I was going to lose my business, and I said I got to do something. I got to do something wise. So the house that me and my children were living in, I was paying rent and I was paying gas, electric, water, and sewage. So I said, let me downsize, this home, and I moved me and my three children. Y'all ain't gonna believe this. I moved me and my three children into a 1 bedroom, and I had bunk beds on one side, a set of bunk beds on one side, and my bed on the other side of the room. And we stayed there for 6 months. And I didn't know how long we were going to end up staying there, Tanika. I didn't know how long. I just knew that I knew that I didn't want to lose my baby, which was my business. And at the same time, I wanted to mother my children properly. So I kind of felt some type of way because I had my son, my daughter, and my little one and me all in one room. But that moment, that time, we became so close as a family. We started helping each other out like never before. The kids, they saw it and they were still appreciative. They were still going to school. They still had things, but they saw what it was I was trying to do. It was sacrificial living. And that's what I did. I had to sacrifice. And then the money started building. It started building and it started building and it started. But I was like, this was a win for me. This was what so
Yes.
after I was able, so I paid up some things that I needed to pay up, and then I moved us out. And now everybody, well, my daughter has her own place now with her own car, doing her own thing. But now
Amen.
everybody has their own room, and everybody got their own space. But during that time, I was like, Cassandra, I can't believe you're doing this, but I did it, and it was a win. Like me and my son and my daughter, we were in each other's faces, but we had that was the time that we had each other's back the most. That was the time that we had each other's that the love was just so big because we were so close. We had no choice but to be so close. So it was a win for me. It was a win for me to sacrifice, my space and my privacy and all that, and of course I wasn't bringing no man up in there, so to sacrifice that too, just to sacrifice
Yeah.
it all, just so I could keep my business and mother and do what it was I need to do. And now, to God be the glory.
Yes. Yes. Now look at you now. That's awesome. What do you tell your kids to live by? What do you instill in them?
Well, okay, y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but we don't do holidays. And Mainly Christmas we don't do, because I tell my children, if you want to get something, if you want to gift something to someone, do it today, because tomorrow is not promised to anyone. It's not promised to anyone. So if you want to get something for somebody, you don't wait until that one day, December 25th. You do it today. You put some thought behind it too. You don't just go out and, oh, willy-nilly. But if you want to get something for somebody, you do it today. And all my children are yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. I believe that respect has lost, it's gone, it's been gone. And with Kassandra's children, it will remain and it will stay in our legacy. I remember I got a job one time. I remember when I was in a room full of people, and we were all interviewing for the same job, and I was the only one saying yes sir and no sir, and he hired me just off that. Just
Mm-hmm.
off that. So that's what I teach my children. If you want to get something for somebody, you get it today. And you always end the conversation with yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am.
Yes. Well, your mother is very proud of you. I already know. I knew your mother before I knew either one of you. And so she is a very sweet lady, and she's raised very sweet girls. And so I know that she is very, 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 very proud. And I know God is proud as well. He's smiling at you because you give him the glory and you talk about him, and you know that he is your leading force. So before we wrap up, I want you to give one piece of advice to those out there, something that they can take and hold on to that will help them whenever they're going through something, that they can look back on and say, I remember Kassandra Woods said this.
Um, matter of fact, that's crazy because I had just posted something on Facebook about quotes, real people quotes. So, um, let's see if I can give a piece of advice. I
Or
would
words
say,
of wisdom, words to live by, something that is just Kassandra's words to live by.
well, I mean, my motto is, to remember to always see your beauty, and I put an I on the end of beauty because it's your beauty. We have the media telling us every day what they think beauty is, but um God made us in his image, and when he made you specific. Your blueprint for when you were created is not the blueprint for when I was created. So of course we're not going to look alike, we're not going to talk alike, we're not going to walk alike. So I tell people, remember to always see your beauty, because your beauty is going to be completely different from other people's beauty. It's complete, and you can't let the world determine what is beautiful for you. You can't let the world determine that. And I've done it. I've looked on TV and like, dang, I want her hair. Dang, I want her waist. I want her hips. I want her. But no, I just need this body. I need this Kassandra, because this is who he created. And I'm thankful to acknowledge him. I'm thankful to acknowledge him, because if it wasn't for the Most High, if it wasn't for the creator of this universe, I don't know where I would be. So that's what I would say. Remember to always see your beauty.
All right. All right. We thank you. Can you tell us your address? We've got your website, www.kwoodsbeauty.com.
Mhm.
So give us the address so that way I'll put it up so people can find you and come and visit you and get some of your good hair products.
Okay, my address is 22. Oh shoot, I got some. 2207 North Granville Avenue, Muncie, Indiana 47303. So it's right on Granville, the same road that the mall is on. Can you hear me?
I got you.
Okay.
All
It's
right. Here we go.
2207 North Granville Avenue.
There we go. 2207 North Granville Avenue, Muncie, Indiana, 47303, not too far from the mall.
Yep.
And she is very sweet and pleasant. I have been to your shop many times. And when I walk in, you always greet me and are always so nice and helpful. And I just love your energy. And so continue to have that same energy. Stay with me for just a few seconds after we get off. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us in today on our very first show with Kassandra Woods. I think she did an awesome job today. I am so excited to see what happens in her life next. I know God is going to do some tremendous things, and I know your children are going to be looking at you saying, "Look at what my mama did, and because my mama did it, I can do it." And so that is just a great role model. I know you're a great role model and a mentor and a leader. And in our community, we need more of that. So I just commend you for doing what you do. So thank you again for tuning in. Thank you for watching. If you have a business, if you have a passion, if you have a question, if you have anxiety or depression, or if you're stuck in a situation that you need help getting out of, give me a call. Tanika Elstein's your Full Mind Life Coach, yourfullmindlife.com. Go to my website, sign up to join my community. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I make videos. I'm going to be doing this often because I want your voice to be heard. And I believe when we are given something, it's better to give back, and the best way to promote yourself is to promote others. So I thank you, and until next time, we will have our guest on tomorrow. Her name is Jeannie Lyon. She is a light activator, and she will be talking about empowering women and how to get in tune with the light energy that's inside of you. So you won't want to miss that. Tune in tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. British time. She is calling from Great Britain. So we will be seeing that tomorrow. I thank you all so much. Have a great evening. And remember, you were created for a purpose. God bless.
God bless.